Welcome to today's What Will Move the Market show. I'm your host Prem. It's Friday, October 3, 2025, and here is everything you need to know as the markets open for today. Wall Street closed out Thursday with all major indices hitting new records. The Dow Jones Industrial Average finished at 46,441, up 0.1%. The S&P 500 ended at 6,711, rising 0.06%, while the Nasdaq Composite reached 22,755, gaining 0.39%. Tech stocks drove much of the rally, fueled by surging optimism around artificial intelligence. OpenAI's recent share sale shot it to a $500 billion valuation, lifting semiconductors in giants like AMD and Intel. The Philadelphia Semiconductor Index jumped 1.9%. Meanwhile, investors shrugged off concerns over the ongoing government shutdown, in part because jobs data was delayed, a mixed blessing for those watching Fed rate cut hopes. Top movers included AMD and Intel, seeing strong gains on the back of AI news. On the flip side, gold prices retreated by nearly 1% after touching record highs earlier, following hawkish comments from the Dallas Fed. Oil sank by about 2% to a 4-month low, compounding sector losses. In after-hours news, no major surprises were reported, but tech optimism and AI headlines kept futures steady going into Friday's Asian session. Overnight, Indian ADRs delivered a mixed bag. Infosys down 1.34%, closed at 16. Wipro, down 0.57%, closed at 2. ICICI Bank ticked up 0.29% to a close of 30. HDFC Bank rose 0.86%, closing at 34. For Indian investors, watch action in ICICI and HDFC. They remain the bright spots among bank ADRs despite global volatility. Asian markets opened mostly higher this morning, with optimism flowing from Wall Street's tech charge. Japan's Nikkei started at 44,736, up 0.42%. Hong Kong's Hang Seng began the day at 26,918, gaining 0.23%. The Shanghai Composite traded muted as China continued its week-long holiday. Gift Nifty opened at 24,714, with a previous close of 24,655, pointing to a mildly positive start for India. The main headline in Asia remains South Korea's KOSPI, which soared to 2.7% after Samsung and SK Hynix inked a chip deal with OpenAI, reinforcing the global AI surge. Traders across the region are now watching for OPEC Plus meetings and the implications for energy stocks. Globally, the US government shutdown continues to color headlines, stalling fresh labor data releases, but so far not tarnishing sentiment on Wall Street. President Trump's call for permanent federal job cuts is making the rounds, with markets awaiting further details. In commodities, oil and gold have both retreated. Oil is at its lowest in 4 months, and gold saw nearly 1% erosion overnight. Elsewhere, a preliminary deal between Samsung, SK Hynix, and OpenAI for AI-focused chip supply is shaping chipmaker sentiment across Asia. No direct issues reported for India, but tariffs and the broadening global tech rally are likely to influence risk appetite in the short term. Following Thursday's holiday for Gandhi Jayanti and Dussehra, the domestic market is set to resume with a strong undertone. Wednesday's close saw the Sensex surging by 715 points to 80,983, and the Nifty 50 gaining 225 points to 24,836, as the RBI kept the repo rate steady at 5.5% with a neutral stance. FII outflows remain a concern amid rupee weakness and stretched valuations, but DII buying continues to offer support. Keep an eye on sector action. Tata Motors, Kotak Mahindra and Trent were top gainers while Bajaj Finance and Tata Steel saw pressure. The metal and financial services sectors showed strength, with realty and media seeing some profit booking. For today, immediate support for the Nifty 50 stands at 24,600. Resistance is at 25,000 and 25,200. Those are the zones to watch for any breakout. Bank Nifty closing above 55,300 is looking bullish, with resistance at 55,800 to 56,000 and support around 54,900. RSI and other momentum indicators turned positive, signaling a bottom reversal and possible continuation of Wednesday's rally. Short-term traders should watch for volatility between 9:30 and 11 a.m. Crude oil continues its slide, now at $61 a barrel, marking its lowest level since May and extending a 4-day losing streak. Brent crude hovers around $64. Gold, after recent highs, dropped to $3,850 per ounce. Silver saw a marginal rise, up to $47.80 per ounce. An impressive 50% jump year-on-year on global demand, but only a slight uptick versus yesterday. With sentiment swinging positive after an 8-day slump, today's tactic is to ride the momentum, but do so cautiously above the 25,000 resistance zone on Nifty. Watch for breakout confirmation before chasing rallies, and keep tight stop losses if trading leveraged products, especially in Bank Nifty, which could see outsized moves. Stay nimble, and don't ignore sudden volatility around major news events. Stay tuned for the evening wrap and send in your questions. Let's keep this conversation going. Your market moves matter. Have a great Friday and trade smart.